morning students, welcome to your English language class. In this video, we will be discussing another kind of report writing, that is article writing. So, the objectives of today's session are: you will be able to understand the meaning of article writing and how to write it, how to bring out the topics or the matter of interest in the limelight. Here students, limelight means public attention, means how can you bring out the topic or the things that are of matter of interest for public, how the article provides information on the topics, how it influences the readers and urges them to think, how a good article influences the readers and compels them to think. So, first of all, we will be discussing what is an article writing. So, students, article writing is the process of creating a non-fiction text about current or recent news, items of general interest or specific topics. Now here students, non-fiction means writing that is about real events and facts. So it means article writing is actually a process of writing which is about real events or facts. It is also a piece of writing written for a large audience. The main motive behind writing an article is that it should be published in either newspapers or magazines or journals so as to make some difference to the world. It may be the topics of interest of the writer or it may be related to some current issues. So students, what is the main motive behind writing an article is, actually these articles should be published in either newspapers, magazines or journals so that the readers read it with great interest. Now let us discuss how to write an article. So here I am going to discuss the following points which are to be kept in mind while writing an article. So students, we have the first point is, study carefully the hints or points given in the value points. As we have already discussed in our previous videos, report writing has value points. The value points means the outlines that you are given with and you are to elaborate the points with the help of those value points. Next is, arrange the hints given in the order you want to develop them for the article. So whatever the points are given in the hint, you need to arrange them so that you can write a good article. Next is, you may also have some new ideas or views about the issue. It is very important, if you writing an article, you must have the new ideas or views about the issue that you are going to write in an article. Note down your ideas and organize them properly. First, you have to note down your ideas, whatever the new ideas or views you have, then you can organize them properly before writing. Coordinate your ideas with the given hints and arrange them in a logical manner. So you have to link up your ideas with the given hints or given value points and arrange them in a logical manner, again to frame a good article writing. Develop each point in a logical manner. Substantiate your argument if you are writing on a debatable point. Substantiate means provide evidence to support or prove the truth of. Means whatever the facts or arguments you are writing in your article, you must have an evidence or to prove the truth of the point. Introduce the topic, main idea or main issue in the first few sentences. Your article should end with your conclusion on the topic or the issue. This is very, very important. You must have the concluding paragraph. Now we are going to discuss article writing format. So children, here children, I want to just tell you that an article must be organized in a proper way so as to draw the attention of the readers. So the basic outline for an article writing format is title of the article. Means give a title that catches the attention of the readers. It is always a good idea to start the article with a catchy title, something that makes your readers continue reading. Next is writer's name, or here we also say this is byline. Now byline tells the reader who writes the article. So if you write the article for your school magazine, your name and class will appear in the byline. Next is body, the main part of the article. So this first paragraph contains who, what, when, where and why in as few words as possible. You must have all the answers to these questions and place them in the opening. Now second paragraph is descriptive paragraph. So here students, this paragraph should include any other facts, details the reader should know. This is where the writer answers any other important questions the reader might have. So this section can include direct quotes. Now next comes additional information if needed. The last paragraph contains the least important information. But it is also important to include some idioms, quotes, sayings, etc. Now next is conclusion, ending part of the article. So students, it is the concluding paragraph and it's important to conclude what you have started. So this paragraph needs to be short and precise. Here also you could add some glitter to your article with some quotes. So students, the format of an article looks like this. Heading, as we have already discussed, or title, then byline means writer's name, class, body that consists of paragraph 1, 2, 3 we have already discussed. Paragraph 1 is introductory paragraph, second is descriptive paragraph and third is additional information if you need, and at the end conclusion, the concluding part. So now next children, we are going to discuss a model article writing. So the heading of our article writing is, it is pity that we cannot meet the natural calamities in a proper way. Write an article on need of disaster management in not more than 300 words using the notes given below. So students, you have to write a good article on need of disaster management and the word limit should not be more than 300 words and the value points are given to you. So the first value point is what the need is, what happens when natural calamities take place, what disaster management means, condition of India, historical perspective, which methods to follow, who or what matters most. So students, here we have the value points. Now take the help of these value points and write a good article on it. Let's discuss the article need of disaster management. So children, according to the format, this is your heading or title. Byline is by Reena, means the writer who is writing this article, and class +1. So now let's start. Cyclones, floods, droughts, earthquakes, tsunamis and other disasters are quite common these days. Whenever these disasters take place, human beings find themselves helpless and helpless. Students, helpless means unfortunate. Life becomes a pitiable hell. So children, this is your introductory paragraph in which you can talk about the disasters whatever we have. And like we have already discussed, cyclones, floods, droughts, earthquakes, tsunamis or other disasters. So these are common these days. So whenever these disasters occur, human beings obviously find themselves helpless and unfortunate and their life becomes a pitiable hell. Disaster management is very important to survive in case of natural or man-made disasters. So children, when natural disasters or man-made disasters occur, disaster management is very important so that we can survive in this world. So which are the man-made disasters? Disasters caused by human action, for example, fires, groundwater contamination, transportation accidents, mining accidents, explosions and acts of terrorism. Disaster management refers to the efficient management of resources and responsibilities that will help in lessening the impact of the disaster. It involves a well-planned plan of action so we can make effective efforts to reduce the dangers caused by the disaster to a minimum. So student, what is the meaning of disaster management? So here, disaster management is the efficient management of resources and responsibilities that help in reducing the impact of the disaster. And moreover, this disaster management involves a well-planned plan of action so that effective efforts can be made to reduce these dangers caused by the disasters. So disaster management means girding up your loins to face the challenges of natural and other disasters. So children, here we have a good phrase, girding up your loins means prepare and strengthen oneself for future actions, typically ones that may be dangerous or difficult. So it also means disaster management also means you are ready to face the challenges of natural or other disasters. So the need of disaster management in India is felt because the government machinery is caught napping during the natural calamities. The tsunami that struck India on 26 December 2004 and the earthquake of 26 January 2001 can never be forgotten. So students, why do we need disaster management in India? Disaster management is needed as government seemed to be found inattentive or unaware during the natural calamities. Moreover, the Indian administration has been a little too late in recognizing the importance of disaster management. Actually, disaster management doesn't eliminate the threat completely, but yes, it decreases the impact of the disaster. India is especially vulnerable to natural disasters because of its unique geoclimatic conditions having recurrent floods. So vulnerable means exposed to the possibility of being attacked or harmed either physically or emotionally. Next we have word is geoclimatic. It means students relating to the effect of geological events upon climate, and recurrent means repeated. So India is especially exposed to natural disasters like floods, droughts, cyclones and earthquakes. As India is a very large country, so different regions are vulnerable to different natural disasters. Now we'll talk about the additional information that we need. In India, 59% of the landmass is prone to earthquakes. Over 40 million hectares of land is prone to floods, and droughts are also a continuous occurrence. that happens once or twice a year on a regular basis. According to national research, from the years 1990 to 2000, 4,344 people lost their lives and 30 million people were affected gravely by the disasters every year. That is why disaster management is an essential part of India. So children, we have already discussed that you have to write the facts and figures in your article writing, but the facts and figures must be accurate. Means you must have an evidence to prove your truth. This is the reason that disaster management is very, very essential in India. Disaster management is necessary as it helps in reducing and avoiding potential loss of life and harm during a disaster. So students, disaster management is very essential or necessary. The reason behind, or because it helps in reducing and avoiding the risk of losing life and harm during these disasters. It is a program that equips people on how to respond and what to do during disasters so that there would be less casualties and victims when disasters occur. So children, here casualties means killed and injured. Now disaster management is a program that helps people or that makes people aware on how to respond and what to do during the disasters so that there would be less casualties or less victims when these disasters occur. So disaster management measures can help removing people and property from a threatened location by facilitating timely and effective rescue, relief and rehabilitation at the place of disaster, thereby reducing loss of property, protecting people and reducing trauma among people. Now students, threatened location means the places which are exposed to danger. Next is rehabilitation, means the action of restoring something that has been damaged to its former condition. Next is trauma, means severe emotional shock caused by an extremely upsetting experience. So, disaster management measures rescue people and property from those vulnerable or threatened places, provide them food and shelter, and also protect them to come out of trauma which is caused by disaster. So, proper disaster management can be done when we make the citizens aware of the precautionary measures to take when they face emergency situations. Now students, we are talking about the disaster management measures. But how these disaster management measures can be done? So proper disaster management can be made possible if we make the citizens aware of the precautionary measures that can be taken when the disasters occur. If all the citizens learn the basic ways to save themselves and if the government takes more responsive measures, we can surely save a lot of life and vegetation. Obviously, if all the people or if all the citizens learn how to save themselves, and moreover, if the government also takes more precautionary and responsive measures, we can surely save a lot of life and moreover vegetation also. So, National Disaster Management Authority is the leading government organization. So, we have NDMA is the leading government organization. NDMA we have already discussed, National Disaster Management Authority. So this is the leading government organization in India also, which formulates the policies and guidelines for disaster management to ensure timely and effective response towards disasters. So children, formulates means frames or creates. So this is the responsibility of this organization NDMA to formulate the policies and guidelines for disaster management to ensure timely and effective response towards disasters. So, it is quite imperative that we have to adopt certain preventive measures to lessen the impact of these natural disasters. So, students, imperative means essential or urgent. Preventive measures, reasonable measures taken by any person in response to an incident to prevent, minimize or mitigate loss or damage. Here mitigate means to make less. So it is very urgent that we have to adopt some preventive measures so that the impact of the natural disasters can be lessened. We have to follow the fourfold formula of PRRP, that is preparedness, response, recovery and prevention or mitigation. So if we want to save ourselves at the time of disasters, we should follow the fourfold formula of PRRP. So students, what is PRRP? P is preparedness. Preparedness, the activities prior to a disaster. For example, preparedness plans, emergency exercises or training or warning systems. Means we should be prepared beforehand to face these natural disasters. Next is R, response. Means activities during a disaster. It includes public warning systems, emergency operations, search and rescue. All these are included in response. Next is recovery. Activities following a disaster. So here comes temporary housing, claims processing and grants, long-term medical care and counseling. Means by providing all these facilities to the victims of the disasters, we can help them a lot. Next and last is mitigation or prevention. So it includes activities that reduce the effects of disasters. For example, building codes and zoning, vulnerability analysis and public education. Means the people should be made aware about all these things so that the impact of the disasters could be mitigated. So government should try and initiate a nationwide awareness which would help people to understand the disaster management strategies. However, we are still a long way to go, and without support of the people of the country and the government, it won't be possible. So it is not possible to face the challenge of these disasters. So it is very important if the government as well as the citizens would be made aware of all these disaster management strategies. Thus, we have to make sure that we start the change at the grassroots level and then see it coming up to the top level. So here students, grassroots level means from the beginning. So you have to make sure that we start from the beginning and then see it coming up to the top level. So in the concluding paragraph, it should be the joint responsibility of the government, the public and other non-government organizations to do something concrete during such crisis. So concrete means effective. So obviously, though it is the joint responsibility of the government, the public and other non-government organizations to do something effective so that the impact of disasters can be mitigated. So children, with this we have discussed a specimen article. So here students, I want to just give you the important tips to attempt the question on article writing. First point is plan before you pen. It is very important that you follow a sequence. Jot down the points and ensure a proper sequence of ideas. You introduce, analyze, suggest and then conclude. So next step is choose a few best ones and write a line or two on each. Next is always begin with your strongest point. You can accommodate the weaker ones also, but in between, or you can end with but. You can end your article with another strong points. So you must follow strong, weak or strong. Next is follow the prescribed word limit, that is 300 words. Next, do not deviate from the topic. Means there are chances you may get ideas linking from one to another that may deviate you from the main point. So you have to refrain from doing so. Avoid repetition of ideas. Next, make sure you double check for grammatical accuracy and spellings because they obviously carry marks. Always have a few quotes in handy. They help in presentation and show that you are well prepared for your article. So students, with this our discussion on article writing gets finished.
So students, your homework for the day is write an article for your school magazine entitled How to be Contented and Happy. Use the hints given below. So students, the hints are given below. So using all these hints, you have to write an article. The hints are refer to the two emotions, seek to make a distinction between them, relate these emotions to people of differing natures, touch upon a complete set of circumstances to satisfy some, refer to the simple things of life which satisfy others, and the last is state which kind of person is more fortunate. So students must write a good article using all these given hints. Thank you.